Discovered in 1716, the quiet Regency spa town of Cheltenham boasts many things. The home of GCHQ, its world-famous literature and science festivals, its beautiful scenery, its football team, the Everyman Theatre, and of course the Cheltenham Race Festival. Stars such as Eric Dyer, FKA Twigs, Gustav Holst, Eddie the Eagle Edwards, Brian Jones, Kate Thornton, and Edward Adrian Wilson can all call Cheltenham home. And one other thing Cheltenham citizens can claim to home is arguably the most important and biggest music festival in the Cotswolds, Wychwood Festival. I'll be looking at just how important the festival is to patrons, artists, and those who have worked behind the scenes of this great festival. This is Wychwood Festival.
A gentleman called Graham Merrifield, who is the festival director, came to see me and said, "Oh, I'm thinking of starting a festival." And I said, "No, don't do that. No, you don't be starting a festival." Unless you've lots of money. I said, "You want to start a festival, you have to do this, that and the other." He came back a week later and said, "Oh, I've done all those things." I think when we started, the next thing we needed was, we needed a finance guy, and we needed a technical person, and a guy called Pete Allison was I was involved in discussions to put some music events into the racecourse anyway. Pete represented them, and also he did Greenbelt Festival there, so he had a template of where a festival could go. So it was a no-brainer when we're looking to do it, and the racecourse from day one have been massively supportive of Wychwood. I mean, they have been so good to us. So it just became the obvious one. If we're going to do it, they were keen for us to do it. It's important for the racecourse to be seen to be doing things other than racing. So it just all fitted in beautifully, and it's what a wonderful venue. I mean, it's iconic in its own right. So we had a little team. So everybody seemed to have jobs apart from me. So I took my job to be drinking. So, so there we are. We're sort of starting. My son Ben was working on it, and the first act was due on. The first act ever to play was they were called the Angel Brothers, and he rang me. He said, "Dad, the compare's not turned up for the number 2 stage. Would he pop down and introduce them?" I said, "Yeah. No, of course I will." So down I went. And thought I introduced the first ever act. Phone goes again, and it's the compare hasn't turned up for the main stage either. Can you? So he ended up, and the compares, so I did all Friday, got halfway through Saturday, and then the compares turned up, by which time I was like, "You've no chance, son, this is my job now." So I sort of carried on. So we all got our different jobs.
good festival to go to because it's child friendly. A lot of my friends go. There's always good music. You can buy a beer, and you can meet up with all your mates and have a really nice afternoon, evening there, really. My role at Wychwood was to participate in the workshops and to create workshops for young people mostly, although we did have a lot of older people joining in as well when they saw how fun they were. I did it for about 4 years running, and every year we'd come up with an idea, do a kind of presentation to Jem Maynard, who kind of was the coordinator, and a proposal, and then if he was happy with that, he quite often would want us to do something that meant that we could create something that could be worn on the last day, because they have a procession on the last day with all the kids going through the festival with all the things they've made and done. So that was my role, was to just create some workshops, two 4-hour workshops, one on the Saturday and one on the Sunday. It's gotten better. It's gotten better because there's a lot more bigger acts going. There's more entertainment going on. It actually gets better every year.
So I've been going to Wychwood since around 2014. I've had some on-stage involvement when I first went in 2014. We did a production called Tristan is Old, which was with Gloucester College at the time when I was studying with them. We did also accommodate ourselves and did see a lot of the music acts, as well as, funnily enough, we went to one of the silent disco one night, which was really fun. Audience that come are very diverse. Like, you've got some child performers on stage, as well as activities for kids in tents. So when I've been both years, there's been a lot of diversity between ages and between the community of Cheltenham and further beyond. Wychwood, in terms of culture-wise for Cheltenham, is very good because it brings together a lot of people. I think that over the years, Wychwood will definitely become more and more popular because there seems to be a lot more coverage surrounding the festival every year that goes by, whether that's from radio to TV or to posters and marketing that is going around. Obviously there's a lot more businesses as well that can help promote Wychwood, so I do feel like it will grow quite fondly over the next few years.
I know what she's saying every time we meet.
The university throughout our time there have been fabulous supporters of what we do. It obviously fits in a very nice niche with certain sort of courses that they run. Windows open in my room tonight, and I can hear the dogs and bats and crows. I can hear the sound of growing cold and all the things that I am owed. I don't know where I would be if this had carried on, but this time I'm lucky, lucky has gone away.
always gonna be like that? One step forward, two steps back. Is it always gonna be like that? One step forward, two steps back.
Someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's daughter, someone's sister.
Hi, I'm Jazzy and I performed at Wychwood and I also sound engineered on the Wychwood FM stage. The thing I love about Wychwood is that it's a family festival. It's just for everyone. It fits so many demographics. It's just got a really nice atmosphere about it. I applied for Wychwood through the university and I managed to get the slots on the Wychwood FM stage in the outside gazebo, which was really good fun. At Wychwood I really loved watching the Levellers. They were my ultimate highlight because I grew up listening to one or two of their albums very specifically. My mum would just have it on repeat all the time for growing up, so again, to see them live was really cool. They were amazing.
When I was younger, took me up onto the hill. Looks down on the city smoke and I felt the factory spell. Technology is where I come when I want to be free, but it never was in this lifetime. You just stuck with me. Hey!
There were some really good acts, like loads of people from the university performed and they were all amazing. And it was interesting because on the Wychwood FM stage there was such a diverse kind of style of music, so especially when I was engineering, I didn't know what I was getting half the time. You got the there was this one band who were doing like Disney classics and stuff like that, and that was really interesting and fun. The fact that it is just such a big demographic as a festival, I think that's so important to Cheltenham. Like when you're there and you see the atmosphere, you realise that like this is something for everyone, that everyone from anywhere can come to and actually enjoy, because the music's varied, the things that are happening, like the activities, they're all varied, the shops are varied. It's an all-round very diverse festival to go to. I would definitely recommend it to families especially. It's a really nice, it's not like a massive festival either, which I really like, the fact that it's not small but it's not big, so like you can take your families and you can take your dogs, and it's just got a really like communal kind of vibe about it.
My name is Ryan Nicklin, I'm 19 years old and I'm a pianist, singer, songwriter.
Better views in her face does. She had eyes bright like Vegas. The jukebox playing her favorites, and we got cigarettes and half pints. And the sun's up and it's close time. The night's hers and the day's mine. Same bar, meet me at 9. We've been waiting to escape these paper states. Every day's the same.
I mean, I did some research into it before coming here, because obviously they kind of say like, oh, you get these opportunities at like 2,000 trees, Wychwood and stuff. So I did a little bit of research into it, but not that much to know sort of what it's about and what kind of acts are playing. But from what I've heard, only good things really.
Cause you're always better than the view. I sometimes struggle with the truth. Mirror's image staring back at me, but I can't envisage who we supposed to be. But even a picture painted perfectly, I know it's picture perfect scene.
You'll be playing in a completely different environment to being in pubs or like spaces where people put gigs on. It's a completely different environment. From things like this, more people are more likely to be like, oh well, I'm going to go and listen to more of his stuff. I'm going to go search him on Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever. So it's kind of a good stepping stone as well as an experience for like me as a performer as well.
There's been a lot on my mind, but I must have been so caught up in what caught my eye. Yeah, it took a while for me to see everything was happening right in front of me. You moved on with another guy, and now you're wearing his top when I'm thrown away. Now we're sitting in your bed, drop, baby, don't stay with me tonight, cause I need you right now. I never really wanted to let go, and I've forgotten how it feels to be alone. It's left me in pieces. I don't mind, no. This is goodbye if you say so. Fucking love it in my place though. There's no point in saying sorry. I guess that this is just meant to be. And yes, I'll be fine, but there is one thing though. When you haven't had enough, you want is one more drink. Don't you think that you should stop? When all is said and done, my patience has one thing. Will you wish for one and one shot? Will you remember me and everything I've done? I'm not your enemy, I won't.
Let's just go and have fun. And like I say, you go and enjoy yourself with your friends. The children love it, even when they're getting older, because there's good music. And actually, as they get older, they can go off and do their own thing. And it's friendly enough and safe enough for them to be able to do that.
It brings together a lot of people. It's also at a time where, for people of the youth, they'll be finishing their exams, so it could be like a weekend away for those who want to celebrate. But I also feel like for those of an older generation, it's kind of a time where they can take the whole family together and go and watch anything that is on at the festival.
Performing at the Wychwood Festival, I think, is going to be an amazing experience. I look forward to performing to everyone in the crowd. I love to think that everyone would hopefully like my new songs, and cannot wait, really. It's cool to be able to have Wychwood to experience a festival lifestyle, but also be playing to in a tent to randomers. This is my third year playing Wychwood this year, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great, I think.
So there are all these different things, and I say it's very hard to, and it would be very wrong to bring Wychwood down to just the music. I mean, it is just so much more than that.
Pretty broken, I probably would have signed, pondered every single word you wrote. I don't know where I would be if this had carried on, but this time I am lucky has gone away. Lucky has gone away. Sat on my front porch, I sat with my blowtorch, and you don't know how to figure me out. Mountain down to mountain downs. Sat on my front porch, and sat with my blowtorch, and you don't know how to figure me out. Mountain down to mountain downs. Windows open in my room. go, and all the things that I